I, 42 male, cheated on my wife, 43 female. Should I tell her what happened? I had an emotional affair with a work colleague a little over 4 years ago. Whilst this doesn't diminish the fact it was still an affair and therefore betrayal, it only became physical once after too much alcohol, although there was no sex involved and just kissing. COVID then happened, and it fizzled out and she left the company. Looking back, I'm glad that it did, as it was a major mistake on my part that I massively regret. I can only put what I did down to a midlife crisis type event and weakness on my part. My wife and I have always had a really good relationship, spend most of our time together, and have lots of plans for the future. We have 2 teen kids. We make a great team. The only negative aspect of our relationship is that my wife never initiates sex, which, despite having had numerous arguments and conversations about, she is unable/unwilling to change. I think this led me to have low self-esteem about myself, and so when I received some overt female attention for the first time in years, I lost myself a bit and fell for the potential excitement of a new relationship. So, do I come clean and tell my wife, or do I continue to live with the guilt for my wife and children's benefit? Update. I've read hundreds and hundreds of everyone's posts. Clearly, there's more nuance than a simple Reddit post can portray, and it's disappointing that people assume things about me without any evidence. I do my fair share of the chores and always have. I was a stay-at-home dad for a few years, and I can hand on heart say I spend more time with my wife and kids than most men. That said, I'm certainly not trying to diminish whose fault this is. It's 100% mine. I fucked up. I made a poor choice. I regret it immensely and wish I could turn back time. But I can't, and I'll have to live with the choices I made whatever happens. I'm not going to lie, the excuses I gave regarding alcohol, lack of initiation, low self-esteem, etc., were probably me trying to pass the buck on some level. Whilst I do believe they were factors in what led me to do what I did, like many of you said, it was still ultimately my choice, and it was just me being weak to try and use them as excuses for what I did. Whilst the initiation thing is still a real issue for me, despite what some of you have suggested, I understand that it's a completely separate issue and one that I need to park until I've sorted out being the best husband and father first. What I really can't reconcile in my head with all of this is why I was so weak at this point when I've never come close to cheating before or after. Doesn't really matter, I suppose, as I still did it. I haven't 100% decided what to do yet, although I'm leaning towards not saying anything on the basis that I will never do anything like this again, and am going to commit to work at being the best husband and father I can be from here on in. I know a lot of you may not agree with that, but life isn't as black and white as the storybooks would have you believe. I screwed up. I need to learn from that. But I'm unwilling to throw away a 20-year marriage and damage my kids irreparably for my up. I'll be honest, regardless of how much blame you've accepted for cheating on your wife, this post does just read as a list of reasons as to why you're not actually totally at fault. Obviously, the right thing to do in this situation would be to own up and confess everything to your wife. She deserves to know the truth and to be able to make a fully informed decision on where to go next moving forward with the relationship. I understand the hesitation since kids are involved, and the fear of having your mistake have any negative impact on their life must feel awful. However, you've got to look at the bigger picture and realize that if your wife found out at a later point in life from someone else, the consequences you'd be faced with would be much more severe and would almost certainly guarantee the marriage ending in a divorce. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on a new video.